Last half term, 90% of you didn't get a C4, and that's really good, but I'm not willing to walk past the 10% that did. I think it's important that we take some time to think about how we can be calm at all times, because if you're calm at break and lunch, then you'll be calm in your lessons as well. So I'm expecting you to take your coats off inside. I'm expecting you to find a seat, and I'm expecting you to eat sat down. I don't want to see pushing and shoving or tripping, because you could hurt someone. You're winding people up. And if our school motto is work hard, be kind, well, pushing and shoving and tripping is not kind. You must eat your food in the canteen. No food is taken out of the canteen for the simple reason that it leads to litter, and I want to be proud of the school site. And I want you to be proud of it too. You must clear your table and put rubbish in the bin when finished, because you have a responsibility to look after the environment. If you put a chair somewhere, then you need to move it back. At the square and the round tables at the bottom of the canteen, there's only 5 students allowed around those tables because it helps to keep things calm and reduces the litter. When you're outside, again, crisps, sweets, lollipops, they need to be eaten inside. Litter is always put in the bin, and you need to respect the lessons that are going on by behaving in a calm way. Just the same as inside, no pushing, shoving or tripping. The expectations don't change just because you've gone from the outside to the inside or vice versa. You need to make sure that you stay in your year group's area. A1 the hall and the quad for 7, 8 and 10, and the canteen and the side of the gym for 9 and 11. The covered walkway by the canteen needs to be kept clear so students can walk through without bumping into each other. And yes, this happens at break and lunch, but also at lesson changeover. The one-way system needs to be followed at all times. If you're walking into people, you're going to bump into them or they're going to bump into you, and that's not kind. Something that was introduced last half term is the social time isolation room. If you don't meet the expectations of break and lunch, you'll be placed in STIR, and you'll be placed in there by a member of SLT or a member of the pastoral team on duty. You'll spend the rest of that social time in STIR. If you're placed in STIR at break, you will then be in for lunch as well. And you'll also lose both of your social times the next school day. So if you're placed in STIR on Tuesday break, you'll complete Tuesday lunch and Wednesday break and lunch in STIR as well. While you're in STIR, you'll sit at an exam desk, facing the front, and you'll copy out the mead and mission, and you'll be sat in silence at all times. If you don't meet the expectations of STIR, you'll be placed in main school isolation. And if you choose not to attend STIR, you'll be placed in main school isolation as well. You'll be reminded of your time in STIR because you'll be told on the day, you'll have a sticker put in your planner, and your form tutor will remind you as well. So you have a choice about attending. One of the things that I do think is important is having structured consequences. And for Meaden to be an amazing school, lessons need to be calm and structured. And some students are preventing others from learning and teachers from teaching, the 10% that got C4s. And to ensure that standards are maintained, consequences will now be more structured. If you get 2 C4s in a week, you'll be placed in main school isolation. As far as I'm concerned, if you've been given 2 C4s in a week, you're disrupting the learning of others at least 8 times, and that's 8 too many. If you're given 5 C4s in a half term, you'll be given a head teacher's double detention. And if you get 10 C4s in a half term, you'll be placed in main school isolation. If you choose to miss an after-school detention, you'll be given a head teacher's double detention on Wednesday. At the minute, you're told that you're given a detention, the detention is written in your planner, a member of staff rings home, and you get a text message on the morning to remind you of that detention. So there's no excuse for you to miss that detention. If you don't feel that the detention is justified, you still need to attend and you need to talk to someone about it. If you do not attend a head teacher's double detention, you'll be placed in main school isolation on the next school day. And on your 3rd head teacher's double detention in a half term, you'll be placed in main school isolation. And this will apply for any subsequent head teacher's double detention you receive. Days in main school isolation will now accrue. This means they will increase the more times you are placed in main school isolation. So for example, the first time you go into main school isolation will be for 1 day, the second time for 2 days, the third for 3 days, and so on. And my final thought. 90% of you have not been given a C4 last half term. So this only applies to 10% of you. And this approach is aimed at you because you're disrupting the learning of the majority through your negative behaviour and poor choices. And this is not fair and it will not be tolerated. Thank you and have a good day.